Hey,
Hello, Mr. Fiscal. How are you today?
doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing
Good
pretty
to
well.
see you again.
Thank you. May I?
Absolutely. Come on, have a seat.
No problem. And oh, I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good. Good. You know, small desk for a big office.
For a big office, for a big office. Okay. Okay, and let me just go ahead and give you my business.
Oh,
business card
perfect.
again.
Okay. Thank you again.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
lost the first one, so this is perfect.
And I know last time we met, you talked to a lot of people, so you probably received a lot of business cards and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how's Mrs. Fiscal?
She's doing good.
Okay.
Doing good. Everything's good. Family's good. Settling in nicely. You know, so we're excited about the move. We're glad we're here in Thomasville.
Okay. No
So
problem.
everything's good.
Yeah, I don't know if you still remember, but me and her, we actually met like a couple years ago.
Oh wow! I'll
Yeah.
have to ask her about that.
So we saw my uncle. He drives a truck, and he saw your son on the I-75.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he actually went there to get his car worked on, and I went there to pick him up to give him a ride back home.
I'll be darned. Well, that's great. We spent a lot of money on that sign, so I'm
Make
glad
sure
it
it's
worked
working.
for at least one customer.
And I know when we first talked, I told you I only need like 15 minutes of your time. Is it okay if I set a timer just to make sure I don't go
No,
over
that's
time?
perfect.
Okay,
Yep.
no problem.
I appreciate
Just
that.
on my phone, no problem. And I know when we met at the Chambers of Commerce, you said that you do have some concerns about your insurance policy. Can you tell me what those concerns are?
Well, you know, when we moved from Noonan here to Thomasville, Georgia, and bought the house and the property, you know, we did a lot of renovations to it. We were upgrading in a lot of areas. So I just want to make sure, at least from the house perspective, that I have the right amount of coverages. Making sure, you know, we have livestock now, we have some horses, we have a new barn, we have things that weren't here when I originally bought the property and now are here, or we've improved them.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure those things are covered sufficiently if we do have some kind of a catastrophe come through.
Okay, no problem. So when was the last time you had that policy reviewed?
Probably 2 years ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Before the renovation and everything?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know that you mentioned that for your house you have like a small staff that helps you with the cooking, the housekeeping, and like taking care of the animals.
Right.
For those people, are they fully employed by you, or how do you?
They're fully employed. Yes, they're full-time employees.
40 hours a week.
Yep.
Okay, no problem. And that's on the personal side. What about the business side? What is some of your concerns?
Well, you know, the business side, you know, as you know, and as we discussed, you know, we're expanding out. We're adding businesses. We're adding locations. We're branching out into potentially other areas outside of Georgia. And so I just want to make sure, as those expansion plans continue, that I'm working with somebody that can keep up with me.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, so where are you thinking of expanding?
Well, definitely in North Florida. But it makes sense to probably venture into Alabama. And then probably into South and North Carolina.
Okay.
Kind of a regional area.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I bet you. And I know for like your personal business and the loop locations, you have like some partners that helps you take care of the business.
Right.
So for the decision process, how does that work with having multiple partners?
They have a minority share, so the decision rests with me. Yeah. So I'll be making the decision on any of this. Certainly would talk to them, get input as far as the day-to-day operation to make sure we're all on the same page. If you need certain information, I'll get it from them. But as far as making a decision on what broker to go with, you know, that falls with me and my wife.
Okay. And so the last time your policy was reviewed, was that something that was just done in-house, or how did you
received it in the mail and got a phone call. We went over a few things on the telephone and sent a check.
Okay. So in the business side, what are some claims that you've seen?
Well, you know, we have had things on the business side that we thought were covered. You know, repair on a vehicle that was in our care, custody, and control. And unfortunately, it turned out that it wasn't covered
Okay.
under the policy. I didn't have the certain coverage that I should have had to cover that type of loss.
Okay.
So I had to come out of pocket, and so that certainly is something that I'm
It's not good.
not interested in doing anymore. If I don't
Take
have
it
to,
off.
rather pay a little more on insurance to have the protection.
Okay, no problem. And I know that recently you started your towing services.
Right.
How do you go about towing people's cars?
We're on a rotation basis with the Georgia Highway Patrol. So you get on a list, and then they rotate through there, or, you know, you saw the big sign.
Yeah.
So hopefully people see the sign, and they'll call the 800 number, and we can dispatch from that.
Okay.
But most of the calls are from the Georgia Highway Patrol that somebody needs to tow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And going back to the personal side, after remodeling and the renovation, did you talk to your agent and tell them about the previous renovation, or
Yeah. As we were going through the process, I certainly kept them up to date. They were making some significant changes to the property.
Okay, no problem. So, if you were to take the policy you have right now and you wanted to improve it, what would you add or what would you take out?
I guess I don't know what additional coverages that are available to me. So, you know what my exposures are, or I can tell you what those exposures are, and the risks associated with, having a home the size of the home that I have, and then in a business that's expanding. Let's be honest. Multiple locations, multiple businesses now, adding more services. So I guess I just want to make sure that I have some sufficient coverages as I expand this business and this business model, because yes, as you said earlier, I'm going to have other partners, and they're running the day-to-day, but at the end of the day, it falls on me to make sure those businesses are running properly.
I got you. So besides like the more locations and having the loop locations, what other ways are you thinking about expanding your businesses?
Probably makes sense to do some car washes. Makes sense to maybe offer some other auto repair type services out there with some additional locations. So I think it's strictly going to be all around the automotive side, but maybe expand it out a little bit and offer some other services that would make sense in areas of Georgia and North Florida that maybe some of these towns don't have those types of services.
And I know for your locations, you have a lot of partners that take care of the business. How do you select those partners?
It's normally referral only. Normally the manager or the percentage owner will know somebody and saying, hey, this may be a good fit if you open a location in this town or that town.
With this person.
They have a relationship with people in that town. We go through my wife and I go through an interview process like we're doing with you.
Yeah.
And if it makes sense, great. If it doesn't, then we say, thank you so much, and we move on.
Okay, no problem. So with you and your wife, do you guys have like a weekly meeting together where you guys sit down and talk about the business, or how do you go about it?
It's daily, man. It's daily.
You have to. Yeah.
We live in the same house.
Yeah.
So, but no, she's on the run a lot. I'm here, with 3 kids and a lot going on. But we do sit down every day just to kind of catch up, not only on our personal life, but on the business side if there's something going on.
Okay, like you just said, you do have 3 kids, and I know that you mentioned that one of them is graduating pretty soon from FSU. That's where I graduated from.
Yeah.
Go Noles.
Go Noles.
Yeah. In the future, do you see yourself passing down the business, or where do you see the business 20 years from now?
I see that. We've talked to all 3. They're certainly going to have the same opportunities. Who knows? They could all be partners years down the road. But you build these businesses to perpetuate them, and you hopefully do it to your family. And that's my goal.
Okay. Okay, now I just want to go over a recap, and I forgot to mention that I wanted to take a few notes. and then just go over
Yeah,
it with you.
absolutely.
And also, at the end of, well, not the end, before the end of the business days, before the end of the business day, if you want, I can send you the notes, and if there's anything else you want to add, you can
Okay,
just go ahead and
that'd be
do it.
good.
Okay, so from what we talked about, one of the things you're kind of concerned about is the fact that your business is expanding. You want to make sure that you have you properly covered, just so there's no surprise claims or like you had to pay out of pocket for something
Right,
or nothing
right.
like that to happen. And on the personal side, the fact that you have you've done some renovation recently, maybe that can change your policy and stuff like that. So I will just go back to the office, go over my notes, go over the products I have, and once I have everything down, I can just come back and talk to you to see if there's any way me or Seminole Agency can help you. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's good. Just a question on my end is,
No problem.
you know, how long have you been doing this? And, you know, what's your experience dealing with businesses, both from the business side and of course my homeowners?
Oh yeah, no problem. Well, like you can see, I still look pretty young. I recently graduated from Florida State University, the online department. So I've been in the industry for about 2 years. And so as of now, I'm a certified risk management. Sorry, I'm a certified risk manager and also a certified insurance counselor. So for me, my specialty is I specialize in like helping people with a higher net worth. Like I work with a lot of people that has companies just like yours. Like I remember like a couple weeks ago, I helped somebody that's like in the same scenario as you. They own like a shop and they think about growing their businesses.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So how does Thursday or Friday sound? I can come by with speak with you and Mrs. Frida and then just to show you what I have and
Thursday be good.
okay, Thursday.
It'd have to be in the afternoon,
Okay, no problem. Any specific time in the afternoon?
2:00.
2 o'clock. Okay. All right. I will make sure I have everything down and you have my business card.
Right?
If you have any question between now and Thursday at 2 o'clock, just give me a call. My cell phone is right there on the business card.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So I'm just a phone call away. You can even text me. If anything, I just like reply back to the message.
All right.
All right. Any other questions?
No,
Okay.
no, thank you so much.
No problem. And thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
All right. Have a good one.